following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro.
I'm going to beat up John Cena.
Oh, it's a great idea.
So who the hell do you think you are?
I was going to dress up like Brutus the Barber Beefcake, cutting and strutting, and then I was going to beat up John Cena. Wonderful. I mean, come on. What's more fun than beating up John Cena?
Shoot Lexi City, bitch.
Beat up John Cena!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
And welcome once again to the Weekly Suplex. I am Brian Thomas. He is Juice Springsteen. And we are here to talk about all things WWE going on in the world. Some big news coming in. Originally, I had planned, Juice, to talk about Brock Lesnar and Hulk Hogan this week. But just so happens, after I put the whole show format together, then news breaks of WWE's potential new television deal, changing all of my plans.
Oh, it's a pretty big story. I'm excited to talk about it with you, and great to be back for another week.
Yeah, it's a big story indeed. So Hulk Hogan will be pushed to another week. Maybe we can talk about that next week, because I think there's some interesting things to talk about there as far as should he come back, and if so, in what kind of capacity, and we'll maybe get to that next week. But we're going to talk Brock Lesnar tonight, and we're going to talk about the television potential deal that's under there that WWE has not come out and said whether it's true or not, but all indications are that they're going to make a buttload of money on Raw. So that is pretty cool. We'll get to that. We'll get to Brock Lesnar as Universal Champ, because I think you and I may have a little differing opinions on that piece. But first,
for sure.
First, let's go through our recaps here of Raw and SmackDown. We'll start with Raw. Do you want to read the results for that one?
Sure thing. We had Roman attacking Jinder Mahal earlier on in the show. Seth Rollins defeated Kevin Owens to retain his Intercontinental Championship. Money in the Bank qualifier, Bobby Roode defeated the likes of No Way Jose and Baron Corbin. The newly dubbed B Team defeated Breezango in a very interesting match. Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, and Natalya defeated Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. The Revival lost to Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Alexa Bliss punched her ticket to Money in the Bank by defeating Bayley and Mickie James. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler defeated Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. And Kevin Owens, who replaced Jinder Mahal, defeated Elias and Bobby Lashley to qualify for that Money in the Bank ladder match. So right now, the Money in the Bank ladder matches are as follows. Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, Braun Strowman, Miz, and Rusev in the men. Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair for the women. And recently announced via very friendly challenge and exception, Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship.
Now that is interesting, if you ask me. I thought it came off really cheesy the way they did the announcement, and I like Nia a lot, but she really needs to work on those promos. And Ronda's the same way; she needs to work on her promos. Now she's got the look, she's got the attitude, but when it comes to cutting on the mic, it's a little scary right now. She's got to work on those things. But I was shocked to hear that they are putting this match together already for Money in the Bank after Ronda's had a whopping one match at that time in her whole career. Now she's doing the UK tour right now, getting some matches under her belt, which is great. But man, that seems awful fast.
It does. But hey, they're striking while the iron's hot. They don't always do that, meaning them being the WWE. And the WrestleMania performance was so exciting, riveting, entertaining, surprising, among other things. And the fact that they're going to take the momentum that she has on that, they're giving her some dates on the tour in the UK, give her some more in-ring work in front of a bigger crowd. Boom, put her in the title picture. Now, I think it's very interesting and on purpose that it is happening at this Money in the Bank event. First off, it is no big do during the year, but I find it interesting that we're talking about, oh well, I don't know why she's in the title picture already. Why are you going to take it off Nia Jax? What are you doing? Keep in mind, this is during the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, so either woman could win the match, but not walk out of the pay-per-view as champion, depending on where it's placed on the card with the other Money in the Bank ladder match.
That's true, and I think when I saw it originally, I was kind of like, wow, what are they doing so quickly? How are they going to cause Ronda to lose a match like this? Because I really don't think you give Nia the belt only to have her drop it this soon, and that's just me. And also, do you really want to put the title on Ronda Rousey so fast? So I thought about it for a little while, and I thought, this is the perfect opportunity for them to really. I mean, they still got 5 weeks left to build this pay-per-view, 4 weeks, something like that. They have enough time to really play that Natalya-Ronda relationship and then have Natalya cost Ronda this match in order to set them up for SummerSlam. I highly doubt they're going to put the title on her right away. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I think that this is the perfect foil for the Natty Ronda thing to get going. Now, I thought they would have held off on it a little longer, maybe to Survivor Series, but maybe they want to get it going. I mean, right now, she's working matches. She was supposed to be working matches with Mickie James, who's great for her. She can really help her out and teach her a bunch of stuff. And then Natty, of course, is amazing for her to use as a mentor and to really learn the craft in the ring. So they couldn't have picked two better people to put Ronda with right away, even though it's house show matches and whatnot. These were great choices.
I just think I slightly agree with your positioning with Natty storyline purposes, but I mean I could see if they have the women's Money in the Bank match before this title match, which you would presume they might do purely because it's Ronda Rousey, so she's going to be higher up on the card no matter what. Although WrestleMania she was kind of in the middle of the card, but that's neither here nor there. There's a stacked card. If you have someone, I don't know if you have a Charlotte or an Alexa win, but think of just the heat that is if Ronda goes in straight, either wins the match and she could lose her first match as a Money in the Bank cash in, and I wouldn't be too disappointed. And you also could have the opportunity for a Seth Rollins type cash in where they cash in, make it a triple threat, or maybe one of them just sneaks up on one of them during the show, like in the back, or eliminates Ronda from even coming out to wrestle. There's plenty of opportunities and plenty of different things you could go to, avenues, if you don't want to have Ronda just straight up lose. So. Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of options there. I think we'll just have to wait and see what happens at Money in the Bank. But I'll tell you what, if they do start pushing this Ronda-Natty relationship hard the next 4 weeks before Money in the Bank, I think that's a good indicator that that's where we're going as far as what story's coming up for SummerSlam and Nia keeping that title.
I agree with that.
The men's Money in the Bank is looking good, but let's get to SmackDown Live. I'll go quickly through the results, and then we'll look at the bigger picture for Money in the Bank. First up, we had Daniel Bryan come out and talk about how he wants to be world champion again, which, I mean, obviously that's what I think every wrestler wants to be. And Big Cass then comes out and verbally assaults Daniel Bryan for quite some time before Daniel just loses it and beats the holy crap out of Big Cass and ends up taking his injured or newly healed leg and not letting go of his leg submission move. I thought this was kind of fun. I didn't think that Cass could really come back from taking that loss at Backlash like he did, but they made it work, and Daniel Bryan being on a rampage I think is great. So I really enjoyed this piece.
I enjoy it too, and it's funny how we talked about this last week where the heel and face differences of this exact feud are just all over the place, because you'd think that Big Cass might get that advantage, have Daniel Bryan chase for it a little bit more, but now Daniel Bryan's working on the injury instead of Big Cass working on an injury that Daniel Bryan has gone through and hasn't been wrestling for 3 years with. So I find it very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next.
Yeah, me too. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but I'm glad they're not hot-shotting this as a one-time, because I think Big Cass needs to get a win somewhere in here before the feud's over, so maybe this sets up the rematch at Money in the Bank, although who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Up next, New Day defeated The Bar, where the stipulation was that if New Day or The Bar won, one of their members would then be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, it's been announced that that person will be decided, I believe, on Tuesday at SmackDown Live. So we'll find out which member of the New Day will be in the Money in the Bank. I can tell you right now it's going to be Big E.
You're saying it's going to be Big E, or you're guessing it's going to? Okay.
I'm thinking it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Big E.
Now, do you think? I mean, we're far off from or whatnot, but I mean, is this on purpose selection? Do you think a singles run might be coming? Is he going to win this? Is he going to get closer? Or what's the significance of you picking Big E?
I've heard rumblings that they want to give him a singles push.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah, he's had a singles push in the past, and he did pretty well with the Intercontinental title thing. Then he got stuck in the New Day thing, which at the time when it happened, I really didn't like. But it's grown on me a lot now, obviously, for the past couple of years. But if I'm looking at those three guys, I like Big E out of all three of them as a single star. He needs to work a little bit on his character, but otherwise I like him.
At least at this stage of their career, I would say Big E, because you got Xavier Woods, or Kofi Kingston, first off. He's been around for years now, over 10 years. So it's almost as if, I wouldn't say that the ship has sailed, but Big E's got a lot more of an upside. And Xavier Woods is more of a mouthpiece anyway. So either way, whether they're tag team champions or if one of the guys got a Money in the Bank or what have you, you got Xavier Woods to be the mouthpiece. So I think it works out for Big E, like you said.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and we've seen Kofi. Kofi adds a lot to a ladder match, that for as far as high spots and stuff go. But I think Big E is a better choice, and so I'm hoping it's him. I've heard rumblings that it might be him, so I'm going with that. Andrade Cien Almas made his debut on SmackDown, defeating I don't even know the guy's name, some jobber in a squash match. That was interesting. I don't know why they had to go that route, but I guess if you're going to introduce a new character, that's one way to do it. Carmella then had her Melibration, which was foiled by SmackDown General Manager Paige, who announced that she will now face Asuka at Money in the Bank. So they're really hot-shotting this Money in the Bank pay-per-view with big women's title matches.
Very big matches, especially since Asuka had her big loss at WrestleMania. It's exciting to see her trying to get back in the swing of things for a championship now. Do you have Asuka win and have Charlotte win Money in the Bank and have something set up like that, or what do you do in this situation? Is that what they're going for? Are they setting up for a big rematch at SummerSlam, or?
I don't know. I mean, to me, again, Carmella just won the title. Do you really strip it off her? Was her match at Backlash so bad that you don't want to go with her anymore? That you throw Asuka at her and let Asuka take it over? I'm not sure I buy that, so I don't know. I can't see Asuka losing this match cleanly.
I couldn't see her losing any either, but
I actually thought Charlotte would be the one to take her streak, and I thought Mania was the perfect opportunity for it. But in this case,
good for you, Brian. We can't all be Nostradamus.
Well, you can try. It's just read the lines.
Boy,
I don't know. I don't think that she wins the belt. I will say she wins the match, but my guess is that Carmella somehow finds a way to escape the match, either by disqualification or by getting herself counted out at some point. I just can't see a clean win. That makes the most sense. It doesn't, but it's not a big pay-per-view. They got to build something up for SummerSlam before they're going to do something like that. But it's WWE. They've done dumber things. We'll just have to wait and see.
That's true.
Up next on SmackDown Live, Shinsuke Nakamura defeated AJ Styles with the stipulation being that whoever won the match, imagine that, someone's going to win the match, they would pick the stipulation for their match at Money in the Bank, which was announced online by SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon earlier in the week. Now, this was a fantastic match. On SmackDown, for God's sakes. Why couldn't we have this match at Mania or even in the follow-up at Backlash, where instead we have several no finishes, and now we have a match where someone has to win, and they have a clean win match